One of Pokemon's all-time greatest sets is suddenly exploding in price. And I'm here to answer why. Because in the years since its release, it's been almost entirely flat. But in my opinion, it was only ever a matter of time before this set returns to the limelight and collectors finally appreciate it for what it is. I'm talking about the 25th anniversary set, Pokemon Celebrations. Because not only is this a brilliant set, but with the release, the Pokemon Company did something that we haven't seen before or since and may never see again. And I think there's a ton we can learn from this. In this video, I'm going to break down the qualities of Celebrations and what makes it such a good set, and why I think it's suddenly booming again in late 2024. But we're also going to talk about this unique quality of the set release and why it's so special. Let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the TCG Buyers Club. My name's Gray, I buy cardboard, and I make collecting and investing in Pokemon simple. Celebrations was publicly announced in June of 2021, the year that was Pokemon's 25th anniversary. Set to release at the beginning of October of that same year, Celebrations was the true anniversary set that was meant to represent this momentous year, the 25th anniversary of Pokemon. And with that, it knocked it out of the park. Because more so than any celebratory anniversary set that came before it, Celebrations really took pieces from the history of the trading card game and brought them all together in one set. This was primarily realized by the Classic Collection, a special subset within the set that featured cards from across the Pokemon's history. It of course included popular cards like the original base set starter trio, but it also included some really cool reprints like the Umbreon Gold Star and the Shining Magikarp, plus many more. And in fact, part of what makes this set so special is the fact that so many of these Classic Collection hits were surprising to the average collector, certainly to me. There's a ton of cards in here that I just had to ask, why the hell were these included in this set? But this was the brilliance of the Celebration set, because this very design caused me to ask the question and start searching online. And we get cards like the Claydol, one that I had no appreciation for whatsoever. But because I looked it up, I realized that this was one of the staple go-to supporting cards from the era of the TCG in which it was legally standard. This was an incredibly impactful card for anyone who played the game during that time, and its inclusion is just a throwback to the role it played. Because of this, I think more than almost any other set, Celebrations nails the idea of set identity. It is truly a celebration of the history of the TCG up to the 25th anniversary. And that's just so cool. Where the set falls short is that it's a really small set with a 25 card main set and an additional 25 card Classic Collection subset. There's only 50 cards to chase. And because of that, a lot of people were able to complete the set reasonably cheaply, just by opening a bunch of packs and maybe buying a few singles to round it out. While this accessibility of the set and the collection is also a bit of a strength, it ultimately means that anyone who was around and collecting during the time most likely got their fill. And what the set lacks is an essential, expensive chase card, because there just weren't enough cards to chase, and so the pull rates were relatively high. There's a rumor that the Charizard is a bit harder to pull than some of the other starters, but regardless of that, it's still not an overly difficult set to complete. And we can compare this to other extremely popular and now expensive modern sets, most notably Evolving Skies. The primary chase card from that set is the Moonbreon, which is estimated to have about a 1 in 2,000 pack pull rate. And as much as I love a set that has accessible pull rates, that the experience of opening packs can actually feel rewarding, like the early Scarlet and Violet era, for most collectors, having an extremely desirable and hard to get chase card drives up the value of the products enormously. And quite frankly, Celebrations does not have this. But I mentioned Pokemon did something completely unique with Celebrations, which I don't think we'll ever see again. And to me, this is the most remarkable accomplishment of this set. Because as we've talked about, it was a set that was released to celebrate Pokemon's 25th anniversary. It was released in early October 2021 and proceeded to get printed and reprinted like crazy well into the new year in 2022. In fact, it was printed so much that you could find a lot of the products at retail or even at a slight discount if you looked hard enough. As is commonly the case, it became quite abundant and cheap, and collectors got a little bored of it. But then on February 16th, 2022, the Pokemon Company sent out a bombshell email. This email said, "Hurry. This ETB and all other commemorative items are only available while supplies last or until February 26th at 4 p.m. Pacific time." Pokemon announced the end of the availability of the Celebrations product. And they announced this after doing what seemed like the impossible at the time, supplying the market with enough demand that the set got cheap and boring. This is truly incredible. And to be honest, they will not be able to do this with most sets. Because many Pokemon card sets serve players, they always need to make sure that the important playable cards, if they shape the competitive meta, are pretty available. They have a lot of different tools for doing this, but taking a new regular set like Surging Sparks, say, and just saying, no, this product is no longer available, isn't really an option. But with Celebrations, we had a special set, which, while it included some playable cards, because there were only 25 cards in the set, all of the playable cards were incredibly widely available. So instead, Pokemon ended availability of the 25th anniversary product the day before Pokemon Day the following year, the last day of the 25th anniversary. And I just love this. I think it's brilliant. It is perfectly set to the theme of the set, which already had an incredible identity and legacy. And so when this announcement came out, there was a bit of a scramble. People looked to buy up more Celebrations product before it went out of stock and became unavailable. And the truth is, since that announcement, the Pokemon Center stuck to its words. We didn't see Celebrations or 25th anniversary products on the Pokemon Center after that date. But some Celebrations product did make its way into different retailers and things like that. What's important, though, is that this always felt like just a distribution of remaining stock. We never saw huge waves or influxes of product. But in the time since, the sets have mostly stayed flat. We've seen very little movement out of Celebrations. Until recently. Because suddenly the charts are going crazy and the prices of these sealed products, especially Pokemon Center ETBs and the regular ETBs, are just flying up. Now, I'll admit, I bought a decent amount of Celebrations at that time. I thought it was brilliant then, and clearly I still think it's brilliant now. So these sudden price moves do feel like overdue retribution. I've always thought it's just a matter of time before these sets become popular again. And the obvious catalyst for what was going to drive that is the approaching 30th anniversary. Now, we're still a couple years away from that. The 30th anniversary is going to take place in 2026. But the year kicks off at the beginning of 2026. Pokemon Day is February 27th. And so it does make sense that in light of the boom in attention on Pokemon, and especially modern Pokemon, that some collectors would start to look at the 25th anniversary and want to get their hands on the product as we head into Pokemon's 29th year and get closer and closer to that 30th anniversary. But of course, all this can happen partly because the product stopped being available so soon. Usually, collectors will say that a Pokemon product stays in a reprint window for 2 to 3 years from its release. It's the time that it's still legal and playable in the competitive standard format. Celebrations wasn't even available for 6 months before availability ended. It means that the supply stopped growing relatively early and it gives it more time to start appreciating. The key to the future value of these products will be whether people still want to open these products and keep driving the supply of sealed product down. And I don't know, I think there's tons of reason to open it. It's a brilliant set. I loved it. And if I was a new collector starting today, I would probably want to open some of it as well. Now, all of my most advanced thinking on Pokemon collecting and the Pokemon market is delivered to my email newsletter subscribers. You can sign up at the link below. I send out an email every week. It's the best way to keep on top of the market and connect with me. And if you're watching this right now, you still have 2 days to sign up for my Terastal Festival EX giveaway. We're doing a rip and ship live on my YouTube channel this weekend, and 5 lucky subscribers to my email newsletter will get to win 2 packs each, which will be opened live and then shipped to them. So don't miss out, sign up for the newsletter. And of course, if you liked this video, you can give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you'll never miss my next videos like this one. Don't forget to hit that little bell and get notified right away when videos go live. And as usual, thank you so much for tuning in to the TCG Buyers Club. My name's Gray, I buy cardboard, and I'll see you in the next video.